Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Adam Blumberg on the line, and he's co-founder over at InterAccess. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. Glad to be here.
Oh, man, you get 2 Adams together, and there's always something good to go on, especially when they're talking about finance. I'm excited about this show today, Adam. So we're going to get into what you're doing and how you're helping financial advisors navigate the crypto and digital assets. For my long-term listeners that have been with me for a long time, they know I was in the financial services as an advisor and in the field, I don't know, almost 14 years. So I know a little bit about what advisors know and what they don't know out there. So I'm excited to get into this. But before we do, Adam, I want to give the audience a little bit more of a background on your company. So tell us a little bit more about InterAccess, please.
Sure. Real quickly, my partner Ron and I, we are actually financial advisors. We have our own financial advisory firm, been in the business over a decade, and we got interested in cryptocurrency, digital assets a few years ago, and started a YouTube channel, just basically explaining it to people, being able to get on the whiteboard and say, here's what it is. Here's why some of these topics might be important, and people really like the way we explain things. So we thought earlier this year, let's just create a course and try to teach financial advisors about cryptocurrency and digital assets so that they can then in turn help their clients make it a part of their portfolio.
Man, I love this. I love what you're doing, and I think this is a great transition in today's topic. So really helping financial advisors navigate the crypto and digital assets. And I remember so early in my career when I was in that field, I remember, when Bitcoin just came out and when it was just like this new thing and like this whole idea and the white paper and all these other things what this would be. And I remember it starting as a novelty, right? And then as time and things that let's just say the old guard and even the new guard, I would argue, just depends on what side of the coin, pun intended, you sat on. It really just kind of depended. So for some people it was a novelty. I remember when Bitcoin was around, I feel like at the same time, if my memory serves me correctly, that's when people were talking about the Iraqi dinar. Yeah, I just dated myself on that one for all the youngins listening. Look that one up. But that conversation was happening at the same time. And so it kind of got lumped in that depending on what investment circles you were. But now, all these years later, now that, big banks like, Chase and all these other people that are investing in things on the back end of just of what crypto, the infrastructure, what it all looks like it's here to stay. So for financial advisors that aren't educating themselves on this, for them to just tell their clients oh, it's not a big deal, or oh, that's just that's not real, or not those exact words, but to stay blind to it, in my opinion, is really going to be something that hurts you long term, because the bottom line is this. If you ask them a question on it and you don't answer it or you don't know the answer, you better believe they're not just going to stop because it's on the news, it's everywhere else. They're just going to ask somebody else. And we know what happens when that happens. So I'm not even going to go down that line. But, Adam, let's jump into this course and your plans for it. So tell us more.
Sure. So along the lines of what you said, for financial advisors, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has been kind of this, it started out, like you said, it's something that they didn't really understand, and you weren't sure if it was going to stay around, and you didn't know if it was a scam or fake internet money or what have you. Mm-hmm. What we found is, Bitcoin probably is here to stay. There are other cryptocurrencies, but most importantly, Well, what we've seen is clients, the retail investors have been purchasing it, whether they go on something like Coinbase or Cash App or whatever and buy some Bitcoin or buy some ETH or whatever. They do it, and sometimes they tell their advisor and sometimes they don't. And what we've seen, the numbers are something like 75% of financial advisors have been asked about cryptocurrency by their clients, and almost all of them don't really have a good answer. And as more and more of your clients are actually doing this, not having a good answer is not a very good place to be. Because really what we want as financial advisors, we want to, if our clients are interested in a certain investment, we want to help them figure out how that's part of their portfolio and how it can be part of their financial life. That's part of our job. So better for financial advisors to at least understand it so that we can tell our clients, look, that's cool. If you want to go buy Bitcoin, if you want to go buy ETH, whatever it might be, let's just figure out how it fits in your plan. Let's figure out how it fits into your estate planning. Let's manage your portfolio. Let's manage your investments that way. And it doesn't have to be where the advisor is saying, I'm telling you how much to buy or I'm going to help you buy it or anything like that. It can just be having the conversation. And so what we're trying to do is help advisors, one, prepare their advisory company, prepare their firm from a regulatory perspective, from the perspective of understanding if you need more disclosures from your client, understanding what those conversations are, so at least you come at your client from a position of having some knowledge and not the position of, I don't understand it and therefore I don't think you should do it. And then the next step is, okay, if you go down the road of saying, look, I have clients that are really interested. I have clients that might even have some significant wealth. Of course, you've been in this business. There's a monstrous wealth transfer about to happen as this older generation is starting to pass wealth on to the younger generation that are more tech savvy, the people that are the Robin Hood traders and such. Those are people that are probably going to want to have some exposure to cryptocurrency. And what we just want to do is help financial advisors so that they can actually help those clients that want that level of exposure. And if it goes beyond that, and if it goes to, more digital assets, which we think will happen, at least those advisors will be prepared from a knowledge standpoint to do the research and to help their clients understand how it fits into a portfolio, and not just throw up their hands and go, well, this is a new technology, we don't understand it, and therefore let's go talk about stocks and bonds again.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is, and I've had this conversation quite a bit, especially even with new advisors that, I'm still active in the industry, even though I don't manage money or I don't have clients. I completely media, just for full disclosure for everybody listening. But I have this conversation often, and I'm like, for those that know their history, this is nothing new in terms of introducing another financial product. So at one point, just to put it in perspective, an ETF, an exchange traded fund, or even a mutual fund, like if it wasn't just a pure stock or bond, like that was considered like, what is this alchemy? Like, what is this? I don't understand. And the people and obviously that's a different instrument, right? So this one's a type of fiat. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but it's more so a comparison of that financial markets and industries change and that other investments can be created, whether it's repackaging or literally making something up out of thin air, out of something that already existed, or like think of swaps, think of all these other things or these other sophisticated or contracts, these other things that people are trading paper. So for me, it's like the advisors that are going to serve their clients best, in my opinion, are the ones that can at least have the conversation, because the opposite is this. What are they going to do? They're going to go online, they're going to Google it, they're going to get some information from a blog post, and they're still going to buy it, right? So at least be able to have the conversation with them, because they're still going to buy it. Or they may pick up the phone and call a company that maybe you don't want them talking to. Just being honest. I didn't want when I was an advisor, I'm sorry, I wanted, if I don't have the knowledge, I wanted to go get the knowledge and be able to bring it. I didn't want them picking up the phone, calling another financial advisor, but that was just me.
Oh, exactly. And what we want to do is give advisors the ability to really understand how to have those kinds of conversations. Mm-hmm. And we're not here to tell you or to tell advisors you need to go talk to your clients and try to get them to buy cryptocurrency.
No.
Our job. Mm-hmm. Our job is to educate you enough so that when you have clients that are interested or maybe have already purchased, Or maybe you happen to find that client that bought Bitcoin back in 2013 or 2014 and now has $1 million of it stashed somewhere. And you get to go, all right, now I'm going to show you how to take it from being a speculation to being an investment. Now it's part of your portfolio. It's an asset that you have, the same as if you had invested in a small business back in 2013 and now it's worth a few $1 million. We need to have conversations about diversification. We need to have conversations about estate planning and succession planning and how that works. And now I can help you as an advisor. And your references were correct in terms of when index funds came out and then ETFs came out and then robo-advisors came out and the financial advisory community all looked at those and said, they're no good. They won't take over our industry. My clients still need me to pick stocks, and my clients aren't going to look at an index and want to invest in that, and my clients aren't going to go to a robot. That's silly. Well, what we've seen is technology is just going to do what technology does, and people are going to go that direction. And if you're an advisor, probably better to get out ahead of it than be standing behind it, wondering where your clients went. And so what we're trying to do is just give you the ability to understand how to get your practice ready, and then how to educate yourself enough about the technology that as it continues to grow and as your clients continue to become more interested, you can do your own research and you can keep up to date and you can be on the same level as they are and helping them look at it as an investment and not a speculation.
No, that's well said, Adam. So tell us a little bit more about the content that the students can expect. So tell us a little bit more about the course.
Sure. So we start out with how to get mainly how to get your RIA prepared. If you have a registered investment advisory firm, how to get prepared, looking at things like your ADV, looking at what you are allowed to talk about, how your fee structure is, and where different levels of advice and different services you can offer fit kind of within your fee structure and what you're allowed to do. And if you need to make changes to your ADV, if you need to make changes to what you've told the regulators, then you got to go ahead and make those changes first, because I can almost assure you that anything you do that where you're talking quite a bit about cryptocurrency is at least going to attract some attention from some regulators. So first thing we want to do is make sure that you've addressed what you can do from a regulatory perspective. We're going to talk about what some of the services you can offer are. And it can go all the way from starting with project-based. I'm just going to talk to my clients about what they hold, what kind of custody they can have, why they bought this particular cryptocurrency. We have some that they've been gifted cryptocurrency in the past and they just don't know what to do with it. And it can go all the way to how it fits into their financial plan. So if you charge a financial planning fee, a monthly or a quarterly fee for financial planning, how it fits in there, all the way up to full-on investment management. There are services out there, products out there that you as an RIA or as a financial advisor can help manage your client's crypto assets and charge a fee based on the assets, just like you do on any other traditional finance. So we're going to start with how to get your practice ready, and then we're going to move on to what services you offer, what clients you might want to target, and how you talk to them. And then we also go into educating you. What is Bitcoin? What is ETH? What are wallets? What does custody look like? And what do we see in the future of decentralized finance, such that you stay with us that whole time, you become a member, you kind of come into our circle, and then we're going to give you exclusive content. We're going to give you exclusive webinars with some of those that are pretty big in the space and those that are big in both the traditional financial advisory world and what they might think of cryptocurrency, and those that are bringing out more products or more services or more cryptocurrencies that you might want to hear from once you understand the basics. But the key is you have to have your practice ready and know what you're going to offer, and then you have to know the basics. And once you know that, you're ahead of 95% of other advisors out there.
Easy. Probably more than 95. Probably more than 95. I'm going to throw that out there easily.
Yeah, well, 95 because, we're educating the other 5%. So you're along with our 5%, right?
Gotcha. No, I love it. I think that's a good thing what you're doing. I think it's definitely needed in the industry, and it's exciting. So Adam, that being said, if somebody is listening to this right now and they're an advisor or they're part of a firm and they want to learn more about how to get this education from Interaccess, what's the best way for them to connect with you and your team?
Obviously, our website, www.interaccess.io. That's interaxis.io. On Twitter, we're at Interaccess8, the number 8. We have a YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and search Interaccess, you'll find us. And we have over 100 videos explaining different blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralized finance protocols and theories that are out there. And you can email us, info@interaccess.io, and we're happy to answer those.
Fantastic. Well, Adam, really appreciate having you on the show today and going more into what you're doing over at Interaccess. I think it's a great thing. I think a lot of investors and advisors alike, you're creating a real win-win situation there and for the market overall. So I think it's great. I'm a big fan of education. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Adam, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate it.